Well, it's not immediately clear when they're going to do this. We've been hearing warnings for some time that they do intend to break up these sit-ins, one outside the Rabaa al-Adawiya Mosque in Nasser City and the other one at the Nahda Square outside Cairo University. But what we heard from the interim Prime Minister, Hazem Biblawi, today is that the government has run out of patience. They said that these protesters have breached all levels of peacefulness. And he listed a litany of crimes, including carrying weapons, inciting violence, blocking roads, and also detaining civilians. Also, we've heard from the presidency, of course, that these international diplomatic efforts to reach a compromise have failed. So it would seem from these statements like some kind of crackdown is imminent. But I think it would be rather surprising if this happened any time today or in the early hours of the morning, because, of course, tomorrow is the Eid holiday, the religious holiday at the end of the holy month of Ramadan, the month of fasting. And so I don't think the authorities really would want any kind of confrontation that may end in bloodshed on a religious holiday.
Kathryn, do you think this is really the end of diplomatic efforts to end the crisis?
Well, we have had representatives from the US, the EU, the UAE, and of course Qatar here over the past 10 days, and none of them managed to reach any kind of mediation between these two sides. I mean, it seems that they are so entrenched, both the interim authorities and the Muslim Brotherhood, that really finding some common ground is incredibly difficult. I mean, the Muslim Brotherhood wants some kind of face-saving way out, in that Mohammed Morsi would be reinstated even for just a day or two, so he could resign and then new elections could be called. And they want the old constitution, previous constitution, reinstated. And of course the interim authorities are not prepared to deal with any of that. They're not prepared to do that at all. Now, of course, also the Muslim Brotherhood is saying that they are prepared to die for their cause, and they rather than live under army rule. And of course, we have to remember here there have never been any face-to-face talks between these two sides. So I think certainly now the international diplomats are out of the scene, this could very well be the end of negotiations. And also the Muslim Brotherhood have called for huge rallies again tomorrow in support of their demands, as have the Tamarrud, the rebel campaign. They've called for huge protests too in support of the army.